ओम शांति। काम इकट्ठे करोगे तो लड़ाइयाँ होंगी, you will be spoiling your relationship. Mom was slightly apprehensive in the beginning because she felt a child be left alone in the house, she wouldn't be there the whole day. Few of the clients do lose their cool.
So when you talk about Sister Shivani, मैं उनकी बहुत सारी videos देखती रहती हूँ. I'm really
my lifeline. Even when Didi is conducting Murli, she can sense it. And during the Murli, एकदम से she look at me and point and she would say, "Vandy, answer मिल गया." And Murli is the most powerful. By fashion, एक होता है ना, सबके अपने अपने संस्कार होते हैं. बचपन से ही मैं बहुत क्लियर थी कि मुझे काम करना है और कुछ बनना है जिंदगी में. I was always very sure of that.
तो हम जब साउथ दिल्ली सुनते हैं ना तो हमारे दिमाग में आता है कि ओ बहुत ही गॉडी लड़कियां होती हैं वहाँ पे. Do you think कि ब्रांड्स हमें हमारी क्लास डिफाइन करते हैं?
Too much of a brand in the face, as per me, just takes away from class. That Ranveer Singh was in Rocky and Rani, like, you know, in the face. Now for me, that's a complete no.
Oh, I'm also an entrepreneur, so I know what type of struggles, you know, a woman has to go through to become successful.
When I had just broached the subject to my father-in-law, so Papa was like, मैं दुकानें बंद कर दूंगा पर घर की बहू घर बाहर नहीं जाएगी काम करने. When Didi came into my life, it's just the whole world just changed.
How did you get introduced to her?
Unusual circumstances, I would say. We were doing a fashion show at Kingdom of Dreams.
कोई miracle हुआ है आपकी लाइफ में?
I think a big miracle was how the way Baba saved my son Ayush's life. My dream is that every groom aspires to be an SPJ groom and every bride aspires to be a WBJ bride.
जरूरी है पैसा जिंदगी में?
Yes, money is important.
हमारे कपड़े ही एक ऐसी चीज है जो हमारी बॉडी की वाइब्रेशंस डिसाइड करती हैं. क्या आपको पता है पुराने जमाने में जो ऋषि मुनि हुआ करते थे वो अपने फैब्रिक को लेके कितने पर्टिकुलर थे? इनफैक्ट जो उनके कपड़े बनाता था वो पर्सन भी डेडिकेटेड था कि उनको किस टाइप के कपड़े पहनाने हैं, क्योंकि उन्हें एग्जैक्टली पता था कि कपड़े ही एक ऐसी चीज है जो हमारी बॉडी की वाइब्रेशंस डिफाइन करती हैं, जो हमें पावरफुल फील कराती हैं. और यही चीज आज हम अपने गेस्ट के साथ डिस्कस करेंगे. प्लीज वेलकम वेंडी मेहरा विद अस ऑन भविष्यवाणी.
ओम शांति.
सो मैम, मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहूंगी कि वाई फैशन? क्या आपको बचपन से ही फैशन का शौक था या बड़े होके चेंज हो गया और आपने फैशन बाद में चूज करा? वाई दिस ब्रांड?
एक पता नहीं, सबके अपने अपने संस्कार होते हैं. So as my original personality is, I was always proactive, I was always very principled, dedicated and persistent in whatever I do in life.
अच्छा.
And मैं काम करना चाहती हूँ and I want to be very successful at what I do was always something which, you know, I was always passionate about. बचपन से ही मैं बहुत क्लियर थी कि मुझे काम करना है और कुछ बनना है जिंदगी में. I was always very sure of that. Fashion, I think, gradually with time, because I did my English honors from LSR College, and because of the mix and the crowd and the kind of friends I had, more and more I could see that I'm moving towards being attracted to the kind of outfits which everybody was wearing and how to be able to create them. And after my graduation, after I graduated, I had joined South Delhi Polytechnic where I wanted to take my skills further ahead. So pretty much I was very comfortable, and from that till date, I remain equally passionate about what I do.
अभी आपने बताया कि आप लेडी श्री राम से पढ़ी हुई हैं, आप ग्रेजुएशन आपने वहां से करी है और इनके बाद साउथ दिल्ली से पढ़ा है. तो हम जब साउथ दिल्ली सुनते हैं ना तो हमारे दिमाग में आता है कि ओह बहुत ही गॉडी लड़कियां होती हैं वहाँ पे और बहुत ही फैशनिस्ट होती है, या फिर
you can say fashionista, but gaudy, no. Gaudy, I would still say, is more associated with North Delhi. Yes, fashionista is very aware, very fashionable. South Delhi, yes, that I can still.
साउथ दिल्ली में तो हम मीम्स भी देखते रहते हैं कि उनका एक्सेंट अलग हो जाता है क्योंकि वो साउथ दिल्ली से है, साउथ बॉम्बे से है. तो LSR में भी ऐसा था?
मैं तो रहती, my parents were also in W Block रहते थे last part one only, तो मैं तो रहती भी साउथ दिल्ली में ही थी. So college was just walking distance from my house.
How was your life in college?
Very nice. I think that was the best years of college. Is always the best year of one's life.
मुझे याद है जब मैं कॉलेज में थी, I had zero sense about fashion.
Which college were you in?
I studied from Kurukshetra University. I did my engineering.
Wow.
So
maybe because you were between the nerds, so to say, you are very intellectual, because engineering is completely intellectual. And with English honors, it's, you know, more generic, more about the literature, more about reading, analyzing the books, going into the depth of characters. So English becomes a totally different game compared to engineering. Engineering is very technical, so requires a lot of brain.
मतलब English literature. I do not read a lot, but I would really want to know कि एक English literature अगर आपको एक book suggest करनी हो हमारे viewers को, तो क्या हो सकती है? कोई अच्छी book?
Currently, at this point of my life, I would say books like Secret, books like Magic, because I really believe in them. And these are the books which, one should read to be able to manifest and make all their dreams come true. So in today's day, as of now, because with time what happens is that our tastes keep changing, and what we really read, because when I was in school, that my generation was totally into the Mills and Bourne era. Rosie, Spectacle, World, and that was the stage. Mills and Bourne was there when I was in CJM. Once we got into college, then of course Shakespeare was the favorite, because we read so much about all his books. Now with time, with the journey, as you go ahead, tastes keep changing. So currently I would say one book I would tell everybody to read is Magic, that Wonder Prime.
So I have done my engineering, then I did my MBA from IIM. So I think I was always the studious one. So I think I was never into fashion, but now at this point in time, I think fashion is so important, because whenever you walk into a room, people judge you on what you're wearing. People see कि अगर इसने अच्छा branded कपड़े पहने हैं, तो okay, we need to respect that
I don't
person.
think it's about brand or issue. It's how we carry what we are wearing.
Right.
It's our inner aura which reflects outside. More than brand, it's like whatever we are wearing, how confident we are wearing it,
Right.
and how our personality comes across. It's how we style it, how we are comfortable with what we are wearing, and our attitude and the inner aura. What we are inside is what is reflected outside. So if we are very comfortable in our own being, then even if you're wearing, like I complimented you on your Zara shirt.
Yeah.
Now Zara is a brand afforded by everybody, loved by everybody, be it any price bracket person. Right? Even those who just wear by Manish Malhotra and Sabyasachi also wear Zara.
Yeah.
So it is more about how nicely we can carry what we are wearing, not so much just about the brand.
आजकल हम paparazzi को देखते हैं कि आलिया भट्ट को कैप्चर कर रहे हैं या रणवीर सिंह को कैप्चर कर रहे हैं, तो उनका जो दूसरे इन्फ्लुएंसर होते हैं जो एक्चुअली उनके ड्रेस का प्राइस टैग्स बताते हैं, तो एक्चुअली जो उनके ड्रेस की कॉस्ट निकल के आते हैं, दे आर वेयरिंग वेरी चीप ब्रांड्स दीस डेज कि 2000 की उन्होंने शर्ट पहनी हुई है. डू यू थिंक इट इज फॉर प्रमोशन और it is because they actually know how to carry cheap stuff also?
Yes, it will be a mix. If you see any of these celebs attending a very important occasion, they would be wearing a good known designer brand and Bollywood rules. Nothing else rules as much as Bollywood does. जो भी कोई भी film star male या female पहनता है, that is something which is aspirational for everybody. So all the designers will vie with each other to be able to dress any film actor. For big events, I feel they always do try and wear a good name, because somewhere the name also benefits. So many names are even paying them to be wearing their outfits, and it's vice versa. Be it an influencer, which is currently the flavor of the times, or it is a Bollywood actor. They need clothes all the time, and brands needs them to be wearing them to get better recognition. So it's give and take both ways. For smaller known brands, like for very affordable massy brands, so to say, maybe rarely if a brand is paying them enough, they would be wearing it and promoting them. But otherwise, I feel if these stars are given a choice, they would go for known names because they want to be associated with that class.
Yeah. So do you think कि brands हमें हमारी class define करते हैं?
It does matter for people who are not confident within themselves. For those people, I think it does matter. But for people who are very comfortable and know where they stand and are aligned to their inner being, then I think it is, you need to pick up something what you're comfortable in, what you're attracted to, what you know you would look good in, and look as pretty as someone who would be wearing a topmost brand. And in fact, I feel too much of a brand in the face, as for me, just takes away from class. Because I know a few people who, even if they wear brands, they wear an LV or a Gucci. It is like that Ranveer Singh was in Rocky and Rani, like, in the face. Now for me, that's a complete no. To be wearing something with Gucci, Fendi written on you is like, it just does not come across nicely. It looks more like a new rich person who would be trying to prove a point. For a person who's been there, who's very comfortable and knows he has it all but doesn't need to show. They would be happy with wearing the label inside, yet being comfortable with the fit, because definitely these brands have an amazing fit and the clothes are good. If a brand has reached a certain level, there is some good value attached to it for sure. So one should be happy wearing it for the value rather than showing it to the other people.
If you talk about Ranveer Singh, मतलब I love his fashion sense. मुझे बहुत पसंद है. In fact, बाकी सब लोग उसका मजाक उड़ाते हैं कि what are you wearing, but I personally love Ranveer Singh's fashion sense. Yeah,
He's flamboyant to another level.
and in fact, Uorfi Javed also, whatever she's wearing, she's carrying it with confidence. What do you think? Do you think Uorfi?
Personally, I would say I'm a slightly more understated person. Everybody has their own limitations about how much they would wear and how much they're comfortable showing their body to what level. For me, yeah, I mean, I'm not so flamboyant. So, yes, I applaud him. I look up to him because he can carry it. It's the confidence with which he carries it all. Because his whole personality is larger than life. He loves dancing, he loves wearing these vibrant clothes, and his personality is so much more bigger than life that he carries it. Uorfi, honestly, no comments, because that kind of dressing is just beyond my level of comfort. So, God bless her.
So what struggles have you faced that has transitioned into what we know Vandy Mehra today?
See, life is always gradual. It's always a transition and a journey to be able to achieve what you want. It's when a person is determined, resilient, passionate about what they do and consistent in their efforts, then for sure, success is assured. But it has to be a consistent effort. One needs to be clear about what we want in our lives, what your goal is. Keep manifesting your next dream to yourself to be able to achieve it. Only when we live and we know what we really want in life and what is the next step forward. Because, like even when a heart is checked, it is never a straight line. Straight line means we are no more.
Yeah.
It's always an up and down. Yeah. So be it work, be it whatever even we face in our work journey, life has always been an up and down also. There are moments of high, there are moments of where we know we have to overcome challenges. It's always up and down. But if you're always positive, always nurture your teams, and because I feel no organization can ever be successful without good solid teams. And for me, my teams are my family. So without a whole consistent effort and being consistent and being very sure of what your next step is going to be, success just can't come.
But especially when you're a woman, it is very difficult to make your space in public. बहुत सारे struggles आते हैं being a woman. I know I'm also an entrepreneur, so I know what type of struggles a woman has to go through to become successful. आपकी life में कुछ ऐसा?
I guess that's part of again life. Because when I got married, I just shared with you I was from Bangladesh. So I was an English honors girl. I was the only girl who could drive and who had finished her graduation when I got married. I'm from a nuclear family. I was married into a conservative, big joint family. So it was, of course, a big difference of the way my upbringing and the way of living was there, and this was there. But the advantage, I guess, with our generation is that the age was on our side. When you're 20, 21, you don't really question too many things. And the शिक्षा which we were given when we were getting married, like my nani was, पहले उनकी तरह बनना है, बिल्कुल वैसे ही बनना है जैसे वो चाहते हैं, फिर धीरे-धीरे आपकी life अपने आप align हो जाएगी, which that's what turned out to be true. And my nana's words to me were, एक चुप सौ सुख, कुछ भी हो जाए मुंह नहीं खोलोगे. So all these earlier things somewhere really help you, because for me it was a total different cultural, the way I had been brought up. So where I was married, because when I got married, the family was so conservative, and I showed myself to my husband in the morning, and रात को रोका हो गया था. So there, it wasn't getting to know each other process also at all. So Mummy and Chachi were used to even cover their hair. So it was very conservative. They were all primarily talking in Punjabi, which I never used to understand at all. But इतने सारे लोग होते थे कि in the beginning I would be bewildered on me, because जैसे we all touch our feet for respect. I would just keep doing it to all his cousins also, because I never knew there were too many people there. But with time, because the family was very loving, and then gradually, and if your husband is supportive, gradually you just come into your own being. So challenges, of course, have to come, especially especially I was always very clear I wanted to work, but in the beginning when I had just broached the subject to my father-in-law, again, very loving, but you know, the thought process was different. So Papa was like, मैं दुकानें बंद कर दूंगा, but घर की बहू घर से बाहर नहीं जाएगी काम करने. And then even what I would be allowed to be wearing, even night suits weren't allowed. You have to be completely covered and different. But if you just bide your time and you just merge into the family gradually, when I did eventually start working, when my children were a certain age, the kind of respect and love which my in-laws gave me, I think I was able to then gradually do what I wanted to do because I had won them over. What we give out is what we get back. So it just fell into place. And today I would say my mother-in-law is my biggest blessing because I know mom is there. Even when my children were in school, I was relaxed. I knew mom here. She's my biggest pillar of strength even at this age because I know mom is there, so the house is secure.
How important is the role of a husband to, you know, make his wife comfortable in front of so many people, in front of his family?
Extremely. Extremely. I feel a loving husband is the backbone of any marriage. And we hardly have any age gap because we're just 1 year apart. So even he, for a boy, was very young when we got married. He just turned 22 when we got married. So it is almost like we grew up each other together. Because, of course, because it was such a big joint family, वो भी छोटा सा था, so it wasn't if I had any issue, he would ever be able to speak up. But for me, what was enough was that at least I could speak to him. At least I could hug him and share whatever I felt with him. So that I feel is the biggest support any girl can ask for. Until date, I would say he's my biggest mentor. He's the one who gives me guidance, and he's the one if I need to discuss anything or if I'm confused about everything, immediately he'll give me the just tell me about how, as per him, without being overbearing, he lets me be, he gives me my space, yet he will tell me, as per him, this is what he would suggest. And when the kids were a certain age, when they were, you know, they had crossed the 5th, 6th standard, then is when by that time we had opened the store. Okay. This is 2003. Okay. So he just told me, now you just come. Oh. So it wasn't even we discussed it with the family, we were still in the joint family, he just said, just come. It took, and thankfully I could always drive because I was driving in college, so it took that one moment of hesitation, but I just began. Before that I was only helping him in the marketing, any events which we were doing, that's all I used to be doing, or setting up a store, putting it together, but I was never there full time. So touchwood, Papa, my father-in-law by that time, when I did actually join work, somewhere I guess he understood because with Manoj's expansion going on, Papa understood that now Manoj needs help. And mom was slightly apprehensive in the beginning because she felt I'll be left alone in the house, she wouldn't be there the whole day. But with time, she just, when she saw that I was balancing the house and work both properly, and for me family has always been first, my priority in my life is always family. It just fell into place and I could see it turning into respect and love for whatever I'm doing and turning into support. But husband, of course, is the key factor. He's my soulmate.
Yeah. So family is always a priority for me also. But how do you manage यहाँ पे store manage करना, you have other responsibilities, and still how do you manage to keep your family as your priority? Isn't it so difficult to actually,
Honestly, maybe because I'm such a principled, disciplined person, it wasn't so difficult for me. I'm deeply into meditation and spirituality. Okay. So when you are calm inside, then what is inside, as I shared, is what is outside also. Because of my inner grounding, I am able to manage see how I prioritize my life as. For me, it's me, my family, which is number one, because I would anytime do anything for my family. My mother-in-law needs me, I am there. No questions asked. So for me, my family is number one, then it's my work, and then it is some social commitments or friends. Because that is what I've always followed. Yeah. So when I say me, myself, because I feel work on your soul, and I call the body a mandir, because I'm totally into BrahmaKumaris. So our Rajyoga meditation, that is what it endorses. That we are a soul, and this is the temple which houses the soul. Okay. So for me, early morning Amrit Vela, and then I go to the center every morning for my Murli. Okay. So that 1 hour of connecting and being one with Paramatma, and from there I straight head to the gym. gym because to keep the soul's mandir active and strong is again important. Because only when I am strong will I be able to help the other person also. And then I go home, do all my whatever delegations and things I need to do at home, and then head for work. So I'm pretty much balanced. Initially, I was still able to handle nightlife because we have a huge social circle, a lot of social commitments also. But with time, I am more happier with my spiritual journey. Now what I've done is I'm there for my friends because it's not nice not to be there for the closed ones. But then I leave early. So everybody knows that she would come, but I just leave. Initially I was leaving at 11:30. Now honestly I leave at 10:30 because I know once you're back home it takes time to change. And I don't want to mess out my morning routine. So unless it's very close family or some friends, very important occasion, I prefer just doing that. Being for them, but then I'm back in time.
Like when you say you leave early, ऐसा मैंने सिर्फ अक्षय कुमार के लिए सुना कि वो 9:30 बजे किसी भी पार्टी से वापस
Actually, I was called Cinderella in all my friends circle. Now they take it. And in fact, at times it becomes a joke because when they're all over at our place for a party and they know now I can't slip out, they'll keep joking in the middle. You go and sleep, we'll take care of ourselves. You go. Because it's become a joke because everybody knows that I do not stay up for this. My early morning meditation and all gives me way bigger joy than these night parties do.
अभी मैंने एक विवेक ओबरॉय का इंटरव्यू सुना था. So he was saying that
We're very close to him. Even his dad is totally into Rajyoga. So the whole house has the Rajyoga atmosphere.
all right.
That's why even Vivek is very grounded.
All right. So he was saying कि वो अक्षय कुमार के घर गए पार्टी करने and suddenly अक्षय कुमार 9:30 तक जाके चले गए कहीं पे and everybody thought कि वॉशरूम गए हैं या कहीं तो गए हैं and then after some time his अक्षय कुमार wife is coming and telling them कि वो सो गए अब तुम अपने घर जाओ.
I'm not that bad. जब मेरे घर सीन होता है then I'm mentally aligned that okay tomorrow no Murli can happen, no gym can happen. Then I'm mentally aligned to it and then I'm of course up.
What is Murli like? I don't know.
Murli is in our Rajyoga, in our the BrahmaKumari Gyan which I follow. Murli is supposed to be word of gods.
Okay.
So every center, we have around 10,000 centers across the world. Same Mount Abu is our head office.
Okay.
So from there, the same content is sent to all these centers. That is laid out in each of these centers, which are supposed to be direct words of God. So that is what the Didi of the centers read out to us with meditation in the beginning, then those words, and then a little meditation in the end.
Oh.
So it's like charging your mobile every day. If we keep hearing something positive, we keep hearing something which will elevate us. Automatically, then you stay in a higher pain and it's so uncanny. If I'm facing any situation or something is disturbing me, trust me, when the Murli is read, we get an answer for it.
Really?
Immediately, whatever is going on in your mind, you just get an answer for it. So it just calms you and brings you to peace, and you know the decision, you know which step to take forward. It's as if, the whole time God is holding our hand and protecting us from everything and guiding us on what the correct way of being and doing is.
Okay. This is interesting. So is there any religion also that follows this particular type of practice?
It's just spirituality, true blue spirituality.
So there is no God.
No, we call point of light. We call Shiv Baba, which is a point of light, the universal energy.
Okay.
So that universal energy point of light is what we look up to. But there is no religion, there are no rituals, nothing. It's just meditation and connecting directly to God.
Okay.
That's it.
And that's how God gives you the answers also.
Immediately. I'm very close to Sister Shivani.
Okay.
Have you heard of
Yeah,
Didi?
of course.
I came into the Gyan because I'm blessed around 10 years back. Didi had come into my life. It was like God has sent his highest angel to hold my hand and draw me into the journey. Before that, I hadn't even heard the word BrahmaKumari. But when Didi came into my life, it's just the whole world just changed. I go to the center where Didi is there. And it's so this thing, if at times I'm troubled because, this is life. Something or the other keeps happening. And even when Didi is conducting Murli, she can sense it. During the Murli, ekdam se she look at me and point and she would say, Vandy, answer mil gaya. And I am always amazed that how did she even fathom that something is going on in my mind. And she could halfway through fathom also that God has given me the answer.
Wow.
So many incidents which like these have happened which gives me goosebumps that
I am having goosebumps.
Yeah,
right now.
and she just says it. एकदम से मुरली के बीच में दीदी बोल से वहाँ के आंसर मिल गया. And I was like, oh my god.
This is really fascinating. Yes. And how do I join it? I'm really want to,
Wherever you stay,
Amazed.
जहाँ पर भी तेरा घर है ना, close to you, definitely there will be a BrahmaKumaris center.
अच्छा.
100%.
Okay.
So the step one is just, and they're very malleable. All the didis are just there are no charges attached at all.
Okay.
First would be they would be conducting a 7-day Rajyoga meditation course with you, which is again 1 hour mutually suitable time between you and the center's didi. उसमें वो सिर्फ यही बताते हैं, they tell you the reality. आत्मा और परमात्मा का, हमारे कर्मास, सृष्टि चक्र क्या है, just the basic knowledge. Because only once you get the basic knowledge do you start understanding Murli then. Why, what you're getting in your life, what could the reason be, who is this point of light, and how is the point of light able to communicate the gyan to us. So in those 7 days, that clarity is given to us. So after that 7 days, then you just start, because Murli majorly for the early morning, which is 7 to 7:45 every morning. But otherwise, for people who are not such early, rising early enough, there is a time slot of 11 a.m. also at the center, and in the evening also. It's such a all-inclusive, spiritual, blissful journey that mutually you can align. पहले ये वाला course करके, and then you just start attending the Murlis. And Murli is the most powerful because all your answers are given, and it is like God doesn't only protect you; He even starts protecting all your loved ones around you also. I'm so confident that मेरी family में किसी को कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता.
अच्छा.
Because I've experienced it. 2-3 बार ऐसी चीजें हुई थी जिसमें someone really close to me wouldn't have survived. Huge things. And it was like, God has sent the angels to protect that person and just keep that person safe. So you just need to surrender. I feel God is always holding out the hand. It is us who have to reach and just hold the hand back. And once you do that, you're so sure you're protected all the time.
कोई particular type की problems हैं which can be solved by this practice, or any problem, any kind of problem. Suppose I'm having let's say financial issues, which most of us are having. सबको problem है.
ये भी थोड़ी है कि अगर तुम इस बात में चले गए तो कभी इश्यूज होंगे नहीं, वो तो होंगे ना, क्योंकि हमने जो what we are facing now is what we are getting of what we've done in our past. So all our karmas have to come back to us. In today's date, I know because of this gyan, I know if anybody is being rude to me or something which in today I feel this is not fair to, I shouldn't be getting this in my world, but it is definitely something which I have done earlier. So if we've thrown a ball, it has to come back. If I've taken 2,000 from you, definitely I need to return it, if not in this lifetime, then the other lifetime. So whatever I'm getting or facing in this lifetime is definitely some bad deed that I've done earlier. And if I have a luxurious lifestyle, if I have excellent holidays, it's again some good deeds I've done earlier in my lifetime. So we get back whatever we've given out. So once this clarity is there, what happens is you just stop blaming the other person. You understand it's always about us. It's never about the outside situation. So कहीं भी बदलना, किसी भी situation में बदलना, हमें खुद को बदलना, दूसरे से उम्मीद नहीं रखनी. Once we change, automatically the world changes.
So when you talk about Sister Shivani, मैं उनकी बहुत सारी videos देखती रहती हूँ Instagram पे. I'm really
I like
inspired. Even when I'm down or not feeling good, I just open her Instagram channel and I randomly see any of the videos. So one video I remember, she was like advising somebody कि हमारे बेड पे मैट्रेस होता है, उसके ऊपर हम चादर बिछाते हैं और कुछ गिर जाता है चादर पे, तो जल्दी से हम हटा देते ताकि मैट्रेस पे ना जाए.
जैसे लाइफ में कोई सिचुएशन आई, क्योंकि अगर हम ज्ञान में हैं, हमें पता है ये इसीलिए आई है, ये दूसरे की गलती नहीं है, हमने कुछ किया है, तो हमें अपने आप को उस टाइम क्लीन रखना है. चाहे जो आ रहा है हमें नहीं पसंद आ रहा है, naturally affecting us and making us dip down, which happens. It still happens even after being in Gyan in 10 years. But we know that मुझे बदल के और भी ऊपर चढ़ना है. I have to be more unconditional. I have to be more forgiving. I have to raise my standards. Because apart from Rajyoga, I think what recently another the Shukrana Foundation, which I'm telling about, which is by the Munjal family. Even there, the whole thing, science is about gratefulness, being in gratitude. The more we are in gratitude and the more we are into this practice of understanding the blessings around us, the more we are ready to give back. what we give is what we get.
Yeah.
So it's the same science.
Yeah. So how do you actually relate spirituality with your business? Spirituality also helps you in, fashion designing or making your own outfit.
I guess, again, spirituality keeps you grounded, keeps you calm, and whoever is in a calm state of mind is able to give their in sincerity to their work. And plus, because of the sincerity to the work hai, and along with that, I wouldn't ever want to cheat a client. For me, I would want to give the value and the service in truth to the clients to be able to do justice. And for all of us in our team, it is very important that we don't sell just to sell. We sell what is the truth, as in we'll tell the client what will suit them. At times, even when the client is insisting on wearing something or wanting to book something, which we know as per their body types and personality, they wouldn't be able to carry. We even tell them very honestly that no, we would suggest it made in this, because we customize. So every silhouette we customize as per the body type and what we occasion, everything put together. So we tell them in all honesty that this is what we would suggest, and we are so confident, just trust us. At times, even when they say कि अगर हमें पसंद नहीं आया तो हम refund कर लेंगे, even that, because we are true to our work, we tell them fair enough. But हमें बनाने दो जैसे हमको सही लग रहा है आपके लिए. So somewhere I think ethically one stays more grounded, more integrity is more there because of spirituality, and of course calmness and the inner grounding of course helps one in any field they are handling.
Also, मुझे लगता है अगर हम अपने अकॉर्डिंग अपने बॉडी टाइप के अकॉर्डिंग कपड़े पहन रहे हैं, it makes us more feel powerful, empowered. It is very important to wear what suits your body or what makes you feel comfortable.
Yes. It is how a drape is done, how a silhouette is done, as per the different body types. Everybody is beautiful. Everybody has their own inner beauty. So we just need to dress them in a way that their inner beauty shows its best.
Also, suppose मैं अपनी बात करूँ तो अगर मैं कोई कपड़ा पहन रही हूँ, it also makes me happy. I'm looking good. अब मैं suppose I want to wear traditional things, which I usually avoid because it's not something which makes me feel comfortable. But I'm very comfortable in something which is not lehenga or which is not
I guess even you like more structure
things. Yeah. So do you also make such type of items for women? Because
we do everything. We do from corporate power dressing to bridal lehengas, the complete range. Okay, because be it men, be it women, from the office needs for a groom, if I were to say, from his office needs to his honeymoon to all the occasions to his main D-Day Sherwani. Same for women. We do power clothes because I'm always wearing corporate wear. Yeah. From corporate wear to regular court sets to occasion wear, attending somebody's functions or your own special occasion, to customizing as per their needs and to their bridal lehengas. So we do the entire range.
For girls who are not very girly like me, I prefer choosing my clothes from men's section. When I'm dressing casually, मुझे women's section में कुछ अच्छा मिलता ही नहीं है, which suits my body type. I like little baggy or cargos or t-shirt instead of just wearing skirts or shorts, mini things or maybe.
But if I picture you, I think you would look really cute in a long skirt with a small tank top also. You would be, what I see is like you would look smarter in fusion and western silhouettes rather than a Banarsi lehenga.
Yeah.
If I see you, that's how I would love to style and dress you up. But for special occasions, with your personality, with your look, even if you're wearing a cute tank top with a long skirt, which will keep your feminine side intact and yet give you a power dressing look. So one has to be even more open to trusting the other person also, and then experimenting a little bit more. With your skin tone, and you have sharp features. Okay. So I don't think you should even bother about this or that. It should be because as per the time of the day and the season, you would look very nice in a soft white, soft nude pink, and if I were to say dark colors, then a matte burnt orange, matte maroon. All these colors would look good on you.
I will definitely try once this session is over. कोई ऐसे पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं जो आपने अपनी लाइफ में करे हों जो जिसको करके लगा हो कि ओह दिस वाज इट, ये मुझे करना ही था एंड आई हैव डन इट?
Even adding this floor, my WBJ Women by Janak, since a long time, since I think 7-8 years, I've been yearning to get into the bridal segment also. So that dream came true last year, finally, when we launched this floor.
Okay.
So that was one thing which I really been wanting, but because of COVID and the challenges which happen in every business, and plus I guess everything has its own time. So that dream finally came true last year in July, when we were able to launch the bridal section also, because we started the women's section around 20 years back when I joined work, because I would be wearing a lot of power suits and I would be there. So whichever client, at that time it was completely men. The whole brand has been men for 4 decades now. So it's a legendary brand in itself. Blessed to be part of it. So whatever I would be wearing, the client, because I was just dealing with them and showing them the menswear only, they would be saying, what you're wearing, we would love to wear what you're wearing. So that is how the women's section itself had launched. I had launched just with clubwear and corporate wear. And one segment in the basement was what I launched the collection with. But gradually, with time, the clients wanted more and more, and now today we have it all. So the journey has just been about growing with the time, transiting from just clubwear and corporate wear into everything together.
So अभी आपने बताया कि your husband just called you in suddenly and you were not ready for it, but still you managed.
I just took the car and I came.
Okay, you just said that.
मैं नराते थे, and suddenly he said,
Actually, before Naraate,
exactly,
first
first
day.
day, he just said, come to the store. That time the store was relatively new. So I just picked the car, I told mom, he's calling me, and I just drove and I came.
Wow.
Because that time we were staying in Rohtak Road, Delhi.
तो अभी कौन
the joint family.
मैनेज कर रहा है बिजनेस को? Is it you or is it
Both of us, definitely. He's at times I tell him, what all you're doing, I'm a drop in the ocean. He accords a lot of his success to me, but for me, he's ultimate. So it's been a journey together. So in the beginning, honestly, when we both used to be in the factory together, few times, of course, because he's been so used to doing everything on his own way. So at times, if I said anything in a joint board meeting or something, he would, in a nice manner, but snub. So with time, you just come to know where to balance each other, where the boundaries should be drawn, where he needs his space and I need mine. So we've just kind of learned to give each other space, give each other respect. And if we need to discuss anything, it happens in the office and the private. And if it's a board meeting, so he knows what I would be leading and what he's leading. So we just have come to that beautiful balance with each other where work is concerned. Because when I first joined work, and we were working always together, a few of my friends had said, you have such a beautiful marriage, काम इकट्ठे करोगे तो लड़ाइयाँ होंगी, you will be spoiling your relationship. And once these few incidents in the factory happened, I actually was like, oh my God, did I do right? Should I venture out totally on my own? But now that we came to know, we learned to balance it very early on also, because whatever I wasn't comfortable about, I discussed with him when we were together. So once you've reached the balance and you respect each other's spaces and respect each other's views, automatically things just fall into place.
और तो क्या होता है ना कि हम किसी मेल्स के साथ काम कर रहे होते हैं, मर्द के साथ, तो उनको तो दुनिया को हमारे सोशल सर्कल को लगता है कि इट इज हिम हु इज डूइंग एवरीथिंग. फीमेल्स आर जस्ट फॉर द नेम और जस्ट सपोर्टिंग, और किसी का नाम लिखना है तो इनका लिख दो, टैक्स बचेगा और ये सब. तो आपको लगता है आपका भी स्टार्टिंग में ऐसा था या हमेशा से यू वर एम्पावर्ड कि आई नो माय वर्क?
I guess, again, because I'm grounded and I'm confident for my own self, I never ever felt I needed to prove or something. That stage just never came, because I've always been passionate, always been hardworking. Whatever I decide ye karna, so for me it is like done. I don't think कि करूँगी कल करूँगी, no. जो भी decision होगी, anything in a meeting which is decided for me, I need an action immediately, even if I need to get that action from my teams. I can never think over something ये कल होगा परसों होगा, ये नहीं होता मेरे लिए. जो decide हो गया, any project I take अगर वो है, and it's even about leading by example. I don't just delegate and let the teams do it. I am there. So that point never came where I felt I haven't been given the respect enough. First day, of course, when I first came, the teams here were like, "Ma'am, आपको magazine चाहिए?" They didn't understand मैं कर क्या रही हूँ because they had never seen me here. And Manoj somewhere, because still it was a new thing to me. However passionate you are about work, but every work has its own this thing. And I'm always open to learning even from my own teams. It's never I'm the boss. I feel even if I hire a little marketing 18-year-old girl today, she'll have something I can learn from. Because her perspective about few things will be something which at my age I'm not aware of. So life is about learning. Even when that time I had joined, the store manager at that time, I went around with him in the store, learned about all the fabrics, learned about the different embroidery techniques. I would go section by section daily and ask him to teach me about each small thing. So life is anyway about learning. Even at this stage, with whatever achievement, so to say, I'm learning. So we have to just keep evolving, keep learning till you make yourself better and better.
Also, it makes them feel happy. It is very important कि
मैंने तो वो भी नहीं सोचा उनको happy हो रहा है कि नहीं, मुझे पता मुझे सीखना है. I was just clear I need to learn from him.
But it is very important to keep your employees, your staff happy to have a successful business.
For me, I've never thought it's my staff. For me, it's my. I call them. Even we have each store has its group, so it's my SPJ family. So it is. We call them as family. I wouldn't ever feel because probably because of the Rajyoga Gyan, it is like as per Didi and the Gyan, it says our energy and the behavior from a gate guard to the CEO of a company has to be the same. हम respect दे सकते हैं, but the energy and the way we talk to them cannot be different for a guard or the CEO of a company. So it's never about I am blessed with a certain kind of luxuries in my life because of my karmic journey. They are working in the kind of circumstances they're working because of their karmic journey. So it doesn't make me higher and them lower. So everybody is just one. Everybody has to do their roles and everybody has to do the work they are accorded. But eventually it is we're all souls on a journey.
And do you think fashion can also help us bring certain type of change in the society? Maybe through your, sharing your spiritual journey with your clients or anything.
I guess automatically हो जाता है. Wherever at times, because human है. Factory में कई piece as per the client's expectation नहीं बनता, and few of the clients do lose their calls. Whenever there's a tricky situation, then the team will call me, "Ma'am, I'll handle," because they're just not allowed to answer any client back or be rude to any client. Not acceptable. So if they feel they're not able to handle it, otherwise I don't get into the day-to-day things much, because even if I enter too much, I just suggest more my friends and people known to me about what to wear. Otherwise I let teams handle it. I'm only there when there's a special appointment or the teams need me for something. The tricky situations, then they call me. So it's so easy, Pehli vibrations of kindness, healing, forgiveness, vibrations ही भेजकर automatically the clients also calm down. Immediately I just keep giving them good wishes. So the way we deal with them, the anger just melts away then.
Since the time I'm talking to you, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि your whole aura is of so much influence with spirituality.
100%.
And especially
at the moment I'm balancing both my work, my family, spirituality, but what gives me the maximum bliss is just, so to say, being in Baba's room in Mount Abu. That's our head center. So eventually I would just love to just be doing that only, but I'm very happy today because I'm balancing my spiritual journey with my life, with my family.
Not just spiritual journey related to BK Shivani. And how did you get introduced to her?
Yeah. Again, Didi met me in a very unusual circumstances, I would say. We were doing a fashion show at Kingdom of Dreams.
Okay.
With some builder. It was a collaborative fashion show. And there we were giving holistic awards. Before that, I can't even fathom that I was so buddhu. I hadn't heard of the word BrahmaKumaris. So even when the teams were putting names together, we were giving holistic awards to spiritually aligned people. And when they wrote the name also, Didi ka, I wasn't even aware. Because they wrote, and Vivek Oberoi and Shakti Kapoor, all these people were working for us for that show in Kingdom of Dreams. And there one of the people we were giving award to was Didi and Suresh ji. Because, they have this Awakening with BrahmaKumaris. They had a series which was very famous. So both of them were being given awards too. And when Didi came on stage to take the award, and she just spoke a few sentences, and this was 13th May 2014.
Okay.
When Didi just said a few sentences, because I've always been spiritually aligned. My dad was very, very spiritual. So since childhood, spirituality is like embedded inside us. So when she said a few words, it was like something's touched my heart. And then when they were leaving and I was seeing all of them off, Vivek stopped me. He said, Vandy, apna number de de. My dad needs clothes, so he will be coming to you. So then when Suresh came to the store, Didi came with him.
Okay.
And it's like more I met Didi and more I was just enamored with Didi's aura and whatever Didi used to say. Then they started coming to the factory because that was closer to, it was in Udyog Vihar that time, our unit. And because they stay in Gurgaon only. And Suresh ji, whenever he was here for any series, he would also be checked in somewhere in Gurgaon. So they started coming to the factory. So when Didi was coming to the factory, she started giving me the DVDs of her series. So in my laptop on the way, because it was a long drive, we've always stayed in Gurgaon for 20 years now, no more than that. So on the way, drive down to work, I started listening to the series. And I was just hooked on and on and on. And once I just in the gym, I used to go to Ozone that time. In the gym, by chance, I just plugged on the TV in the gym and it was, the Murli was going on. So I started hearing the Murli. So next when I met Didi, I just shared with Didi that I had heard the Murli and I loved it. She said, if you started understanding Murli, come to the center. Then I started going to the center. Every Sunday I would go because Didi center is slightly away from the house. And now of course I go to a center close to my house every day and Didi center every Sunday.
So in one of our reels, I also heard, since you were talking about this, कि पहले meeting में you felt that connection immediately. So एक reel मैंने उनकी देखी थी जिसमें उन्होंने बोला है कि कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं, हम मिलते हैं तो ऐसा लगता है कि इनको हम हमेशा से ही जानते हैं.
And in fact, Didi said to me later on, again I was incredulously overwhelmed when Didi shared this. She said, me and Suresh were talking कि हम एक fashion show में गए क्यों? Because Didi is there. She's Paramatma's most divine angel and fashion shows glamour. How fashion shows are. She said, हम ये question कर रहे थे कि हम एक fashion show में क्यों गए? She said, then हमें answer मिल गया बाबा से. बाबा ने कहा तो तुम्हें लेने भेजा. And I was like, oh my God.
मतलब ये वाली लाइन सुन के आए हाँ goosebumps.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, every day I bless बाबा कि बाबा ने अपना सबसे बड़ा फरिश्ता भेजा मेरा हाथ करके मुझे इस ज्ञान में लाने. It is way beyond comprehension. It's just beautiful.
So when we talk about all the spiritual practices, किसी चीज के बारे में बात करते हैं, बट हमारे अंदर कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा होता है, fear होता है, fear of losing something. ऐसा कुछ fear है आपके अंदर?
Fear of losing something. Not fear of losing something, I would say. Yes, I told you, challenges तो of course आते ही आते हैं.
क्या डर है? जैसे मुझे अंधेरे से डर लगता है, मुझे पानी से डर लगता है, या किसी को भी ऐसा लगता है कि ओ ये पर्सन मेरी लाइफ में नहीं हो तो मेरा शायद अच्छा नहीं हो लाइफ. ऐसा कुछ डर है या फिर स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिसेस की वजह से वो डर खत्म होते गए हैं आपकी लाइफ में gradually?
I don't really remember any fear which I had deep inside. Yes, I was not very comfortable with water and I'm the kind I told you not to work on it. Like swimming, for example. I didn't know how to swim because my dad was also conservative and then my in-laws were super conservative. So the thought of a girl swimming was a complete no. Because even my dad was so conservative that after 6 p.m. we weren't allowed to step out of the house also. So, but recently I was like, I have this fear of what, I mean, I'm not comfortable with water, so I need to get over it. So I just joined classes and I learned swimming. Even at my age. In fact, my team even questioned, you're learning it now? I said yes, because before I die, I want to be a winner in this also. I can't say I've really mastered it, but then I know I can swim now. So breathing, I still need to practice a lot upon. But if I say any fear of something, no, because I'm so confident मेरा बाबा है. I know सब कुछ ठीक ही रखेगा, अपने आप protect कर ही लेगा. Some miracle will happen and he will be there to always protect. कोई miracle हुआ है आपकी life में? I think a big miracle was how the way Baba saved my son Ayush's life.
Okay.
Because he had gone for a party and he was driving back. He was in a Range Rover, which touchwood is a very strong car. He was driving back. He was on the highway, and suddenly one speeding truck in front of him just stopped out of the blue, and that stopped and his Range Rover banged into the car. This was around, I think, 4 or 5 in the morning, because Diwali days were on and Diwali parties were on, and he was alone in the car. And when I had got up, because I get up for the Murli around, like I leave the house around 6:15. When I was leaving, I had noticed his car is not there. I had tried to call him, but his phone was unavailable, and I just left for the Murli. Manoj was there, and then he was informed, because in the car boot, because the mobiles are locked, and nobody knew the passcode, and the car was registered in our organization's name, and by chance the store manager's number was fed in. So the person who was helping him found that person's number, gave him a call, and he in turn called Manoj that he's in the hospital, please rush. Tab tak I was already in Murli, but he was conducting the Murli, and I was already at the center. What had happened was that when his car banged, it was early in the morning. Again, I was with Baba, I was secure, I was listening to his words, but because if I have surrendered to him, then it becomes his problem. No? I have surrendered to him, it's Paramatma's problem to take care of everybody around me and my family. An angel, his name was Aman, one young guy, he was going to run the marathon, so he was going in his car, and he noticed that Ayush's car had, the airbags were out, and Ayush was stuck in the car, and another couple, probably if it was me, I wouldn't have done what they did. It was such a huge thing. Abhishek and his wife. Now the wife had her CA exam. She was going to take a flight to Pune, and this was on the national highway from Gurgaon to the airport. And he had to drop her to the airport, and she had to give her exam for her appearance in her CA, which is a very big thing. When there is a flight and you see something happening, you don't really stop a car, because the flight would be missed and her career was at stake. He had that angel who got sent. He stopped his car, so together Aman and Abhishek, they tried to pull him out of the car with great difficulty, और वो earbags इतने फंसे हुए थे that एक बंदा निकाल ही नहीं सकता था. They took him out of the car, and the moment that he was totally zoned out, and they even managed to take his watch and his wallet from the boot. The moment they took him out of the car, the whole car burst into flames. So it was like, again, something which, it was that split second. If they hadn't stopped the car, if they hadn't noticed, because they could see that fumes are coming out of the car, and there was nobody else on the road, the truck had hit his car and just vanished. There was no one. The highway and hurry, anybody is there on the roads. Now these two angels from God, they just managed to put him, and because Abhishek had to drop his wife, he requested Aman to ja isko hospital में छोड़ा, and they exchanged numbers to ensure that Ayush is safe. Now Aman, and they both decided, अच्छा Medanta में छोड़ते, पास है गुड़गांव में. And somewhere when Aman was driving him to Medanta, I don't know why, what intuition he had, that he turned and he dropped Ayush to Max. And again, he couldn't contact any of us because they didn't have any, they couldn't unlock his phone, they couldn't do anything. And see, again, I feel him being in Max was another God's doing, because that group, who all of us are together with Sister Shivani and this is, they're all, half of them are Max doctors. So from taking him to Medanta to suddenly turning into Max, and my closest friend Sadhna Rajat was with me. Rajat is was the CEO of Max Chain at that time. Now he's shifted to healthcare. They were with me. They generally used to pick me up for the Murli, so we were always together. And half the people who really takes this group is all doctors of Max. So as soon as the Murli finished, then, because it was in the basement that time center, the network nahi aata tha. As soon as I just went up to check with Manoj, pata chala, has Ayush come back home, then he shared with me, he's in Max, come right away. So immediately with Rajat and Sadhna, we rushed to Max. And because Rajat was well connected, we could quickly handle everything and get care taken. Now, even in that journey, when I knew that, it was that split second where God saved him, I was touched with still very calm. Manoj was totally devastated, my husband. He was crying. Mom had come by that time. Mom was crying because it was a nightmare of what could have happened immediately. But somewhere, I think I just managed to stay calm. And I think that calmness comes from the cat. Because you're so sure that Paramatma is just there for you.
Yeah.
Then बाद में Didi shared. In fact, Mount Abu also, she made me share this experience. And Didi shared with everybody that all the doctors were saying, "Ji, mom hai. How can a mother be so collected and cool?" I stayed with them all through. I didn't go back home at all. In the ICU also, because I knew these people, so I was allowed to even sleep in the ICU with them. All through, I just stayed with them. But because I feel I was composed, I was able to take care of him and be strong enough to nurture him back to health. Because it was challenging for him also, all that he had to go through after that. And this just being in Gyan automatically gives you the strength of being able to overcome challenges. Because he's there. उनकी प्रॉब्लम है ना, मेरी थोड़ी है. मैं उनके पास थी तो उनकी प्रॉब्लम है ना. अपने आप करेंगे जो भी करना ठीक करेंगे.
In fact, while you were sharing this story, मुझे अपनी story याद आ गई. In case you have 5 minutes, I want to share. मेरा school trip था. So I was 13 year old that time. My mom was very scared कि इसको अकेले नहीं भेजना, but I was very stubborn कि मुझे जाना है सब friends के साथ. I was 13 year old. We went to Kullu Manali. My mom had instructed all my teachers कि इसका हमेशा हाथ पकड़ के रखना, कहीं पे भी अकेले नहीं छोड़ना देते इसको.
You are a naughty child.
I was very naughty. So I was just waiting कि मेरी टीचर कब हाथ छोड़ेगी और मैं भाग जाऊँ. So my teacher went to washroom for 2 minutes and I vanished. And I was, we were on a mountain and my teacher told us सबको नीचे जाना है. तो हम नीचे जा रहे हैं. अब टीचर और सारा ग्रुप एक साथ है और मैं कहीं और चली गई क्योंकि मुझे टीचर के साथ नहीं जाना था. और वो जो
Hidamba temple.
नहीं वो जो एक्चुअल में जो पहाड़ी लोग होते हैं उनका रास्ता होता है बहुत छोटा सा जाने का. तो मैं उधर से चली गई और बाकी सब ग्रुप जो था वो जो सीमेंटेड रोड है वहां से जा रहे थे. तो वहां से बीच में एक स्टोन आया which was very slant and I was tiny. अब मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा कि मैं यहाँ से नीचे कैसे जाऊँ. अब मैं दोबारा ऊपर भी नहीं जा सकती because it was steep and बहुत दूर था. तो अब मैं 1 घंटे से चल रही हूँ.
मैं अकेली भाग गई हूँ.
मैंने नहीं सोचा. And I was with one of my friends. वो भी छोटा था. So his name was भावक. वो भी साथ में था मेरे और हम दोनों कहीं तो वहाँ पे स्टीप स्टोन खिला के स्टक हो गए कि अब क्या करें. And the miracle happened. I still get goosebumps. Nobody believes this. 2 लोग आए पीछे से. They were angels only. They carried us. हम दोनों को उठाया. उसने स्टीप स्टोन से नीचे रखा. And they were just झाड़ रहे थे, अपने कपड़े झाड़ रहे थे और जैसे हमने देखा they were not there. And they vanished. Maybe वो जल्दी से चले गए या कहीं तो चले गए, ऊपर चले गए, नीचे चले गए. But we did not.
Angels are there.
We did not see them. So it still gives me goosebumps. But nobody believes कि ऐसा हो सकता है. But I think
I believe in it totally.
I would, do you have anything कि मुझे ये सेटअप करना है so that एक legacy छोड़ के जाऊँ मैं अपने साथ.
Steve, if you ask me that where I see Study by Janak, definitely now at this point of time today, I see us expanding more. I want our national presence to be stronger. I want to be known as the best fashion stores of India. My dream is that every groom aspires to be an SPJ groom and every bride aspires to be a WBJ bride. I really want, our brand to be that well known and the aspiration value to be that high. But if you say legacy, I feel already Study by Janak is a legend, has a legend of its own. From a humble beginning of a small 1600 square feet store when we started in 2086 to where we are today. It's already been 4 decades. So the legacy is already there. The brand recognition and value people know Study by Janak. So there, touchwood, God has been very, very kind. But to take it further and reach out, and India, of course, I would just love that.
Apart from Study by Janak, do you have anything कि मुझे ये achieve करना है अपनी life में? Any goals, in your personal life, or maybe a spiritual perspective, या फिर career related, कुछ भी. One thing that you would want to
Career
achieve.
point of view, I'm satisfied. I know I need to work on myself more to be more digitally aligned, which is the need of the time today. I shouldn't be giving any excuses about, not being that well versed in the digital stream. I need to become even better where that is concerned. So I know I need to work on that stream. I need to work better on my numbers because I've always been a people's person, my collection person rather than finances. For which my son keeps, he's one guy who keeps pushing me further to excel and make myself better and better. But numbers is something I know which hasn't been my strength, but I need to work upon that. I need to be way more on top of finances also, the way I am with my merchandising and my teams. And if you say how I would want to be known later on when I have passed on and become one with God, I would just say a pure divine soul. That's it.
Right. Okay, one last question. How do you think finances are very important? कितना जरूरी है पैसा जिंदगी में?
Of course it is important because we are in this journey of life where without finances I am responsible for all the people working with me also. So unless it's a profitable person, this thing, to be able to run my own house, to be able to run the house of my teams, it doesn't happen. And definitely because we are into this journey of working and being one with the society and a certain standard to maintain where the work and everything is concerned. So finances are important because it is the truth. It is just कितनी सच्चाई से कमा ले and जितना अपने आप को ethical रख कर कमा ले, that of course I would love to do it. But yes, money is important.
I think the conversation I had with you was really inspiring, motivating. मुझे बीच में बहुत सारे instances ऐसे थे when I actually had goosebumps on my entire body, and especially when we discussed about Sister Shivani, when we discussed about the incident that happened with your son and my own incident also. So it was really, really, really nice time talking to you, and I hope through this conversation we are able to inspire our viewers and not only inspire career-wise, but also how important it is for every person to be spiritually inclined. Because I myself also am very spiritually inclined, not just in BrahmaKumaris, but in my I follow Buddhism and I follow.
Essence, I feel, of all these religions is the same. The essence is the same. That we need to give back.
Yes,
we need to be so aware of the blessings in our life and concentrate only on the positive and not think of the negative at all, because whatever we say or speak or think is what the reality we are creating around us. So to be always aligned to a better way of life, one has to be unconditionally just loving, giving, and be open to only good things coming.
Yes.
Negative आएगा मन में, but we have to switch. We need to know how to switch that thing out of our mind and concentrate on the good things in life and on the positive aspects only.
तो जितना हमें मिल रहा है मैं ट्राई करती हूँ उतना मैं
शुक्रिया
गिव बैक भी कर सकूँ सोसाइटी को. मैं थैंकफुल हूँ यूनिवर्स को कि मुझे इतना मेरा उतना
कितना कुछ दिया है ना. The fact that we are able to talk, the fact that we are able to see, breathe, walk. I mean, I think we can be in gratitude non-stop.
Yes,
non-stop. So much kindness God has given us, and what happens is generally what people do is that जो कुछ नहीं है जिंदगी में उसमें हम अपनी सारी एनर्जी और फोकस डाल लेते हैं rather than जो इतना कुछ परमात्मा ने दिया है. We just take it for granted. माँ बाप है, we just take them for granted. उन्होंने कितना कुछ दिया है. सबसे पहले तो हमें ये जीवन जीने का अर्थ दिया है. How much our parents have given us, but we don't even think of how much they've done for us, how much they've given us. But जो चीज नहीं दी है डैड ने, supposing अगर एक बॉय को बाइक चाहिए या कुछ चाहिए, वो चीज तो मन में रहती है. बट जो 100 चीजें दी हैं, तुम्हें जीवन नहीं दिया है, तो हॉस्पिटल पे तुम्हारे बिल्स दिए हैं, जो दिया उसके लिए we are hardly grateful because we don't think we take it for granted. We just take it for granted. उनका फर्ज है जैसे लेकर is our attitude. So that is why I vouch for this magic book, because in this journey of the magic book we become aware of how much we need to be grateful for. And the more we are grateful, जो जितना grateful होगा वो उतना पाएगा. So that's why I say
This conversation was really awakening. Thank you so much.
so we can as awakening with Study By Janak.
Yes, exactly. Awakening is Study By Janak. And also, I don't know कि कितना और अभी हम discover कर सकते हैं इस journey में. And I hope to see you again.
I would love that.
And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.